Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and it's an exciting day here at the ranch. I'm going to do my first ever wiring at Jarhead Bonsai. It's going to be less of a traditional wiring that you would think of when thinking about bonsai, as far as wrapping the wire completely around the branch and having that wire hold the bend. I'm going to do more of a wire around the branch to another branch technique that I've seen a few other guys do, and I think that it's pretty dope. So actually, here it is. So it was my first attempt at roots over rock. So even though I don't know that I was successful with that, I think I was successful getting some nice unique aerial roots, or surface roots, to go with this white pine. So it's got some nice soft needles. We're getting ready to go into a dormant phase into winter, so I figured let's get the bend on it and let it hang out like that throughout the winter. So that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, so I collected this white pine, I would say maybe a little over 2 years ago. Yep. Probably May 2019. No, yes. Yeah, so 2.5 years ago. And it had an initial nice little bend to its trunk, and then since then, I have just kind of let it grow. I absolutely hate the way I potted it because, I don't know, I just don't like the location of the way where it's potted. So definitely in the spring, I'm going to repot it. And then clearly we need to do something with this thing. So got some nice branching going on this year. It was really just like 3 buds at the end of 3 branches for a couple of years. So this year was very productive. So I thought something along those lines. Maybe exaggerate the bend a little bit and tie where my thumb is on my left hand to where my pinky is here on the branch. I don't know, I think that gives some nice shape. That bounced right away. I think that gives some nice shape to it. And then maybe, so you see those roots. Maybe when I repot it, have this be more of the front. I think that's pretty cool. Yes. Yeah, so I think something right along that a ways is what's going to happen. And you see we got some pretty cool roots here. So overall, I'm not pleased with the potting or the pot, especially since it's more mature now, so it's not coming inside at all. I did take it in its first year to let it spend the winter in the basement so that it didn't, the roots didn't, get too cold, since I wasn't sure how they were affected with the repotting. But since then, they've spent their time outdoors, and as you know, these pots aren't the best for outdoors, which is why I got that chip there. But I do like these glossy, glazy pots for indoor and tropicals, things like that. So why don't we get this thing wired, and then in spring we can worry about what cool pot we're going to put it into. So also today I'm going to be bringing in my deciduous trees, my Zelkovas, birch, also my giant sequoia, different maples. The trees that are less cold hardy, because we're supposed to drop down to 27 degrees. My black locust maybe, or maybe I might leave those out. They're a little more cold hardy. Yep, we're going to get down to 27 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is just going to be too cold for these guys, especially this. This is like a middle of the United States vine, so not so cold hardy. I'm going to get my workout in, that's for sure. So, all right, I am delaying this wiring. I've looked at it so long, and thought about it so much. And as y'all know, I don't typically wire. Well, in fact, I don't wire. I'd say I started against wiring, and then it was more like I didn't understand wiring, and now I'm going to dip my toe into it. So we'll see. All right, y'all. So it is the next day, because yesterday Champions League was on, so the day got away from me, and I didn't get to finishing this. And I continued to think about it overnight, how I was going to do it. And then this morning I got all of the trees put down in the basement, so lots of trip up and down the stairs. Yeah, multitasking, workout, and get my bonsai winterization done. So that was good. So I earned this Heineken. Cheers to you all out there. Don't you want to really try like a ton if you're from America? You know, the Sam Doak, the bonsai bloke. Don't you really want to try a ton beer? I mean, he makes it seem like it's the best concoction in the world. Anyways, so I have these straps that actually are purposed for exercise. They go through these hard handles, and they're for doing things with your feet in them. Maybe I'll show you later, but honestly, I didn't like them for the exercise purpose, but I love them for this because A, they have this clamp on it, boom, so I could tighten or extend very easily, and it's nice and flat, and I'm sure there's some artificial material in here, but it's nice and flat and more like a cloth, so I feel like it's breathable. The thing I hate about wiring is it looks like the tree's like in a total chokehold, you know? It's not enjoying life. So, anyways. And I don't like spending money. And I hate the thought of wire bite. So I'm going to try a combination of things that I've seen kind of in wiring and in various ways to avoid wiring. And we will see if I can pull this off. So I've got 2 of these. I might use these 2 and then some rubber bands for the smaller ones. But I like the flatter concept. So this one, really turn it towards you. So I think this would be the anticipated front. So don't pay attention to the pot. Just picture this being the front of the tree. Look at this main branch. Gotta get down low. Yes. I want to get the main branch going back with the same kind of circular angle that it is coming out, with a little bit of a twist. It's not directly to the side or above it like a perfect S, but close to it. An S with a twist. Works for that. Might have to tighten it a little bit. I like that a lot, though. What I would probably do, I don't know. We'll have to think about that all winter, right? What I'm going to do for the spring pruning, because I plan on giving this a nice little pruning in the spring and then pinching back the buds in June now that it's establishing itself. I don't Yamadori much, I really haven't, but this was one of my successful ones that I just love that I did. Okay, so let's get, I kind of want this lower branch back here. I want this to fill the gap up here. Come back with this one. Okay, so that's the front. All right. Let's try this. And then if I want to mess with the other branches, what I might do is grab some rubber bands because they have that same flat component. Clearly they wouldn't be adjustable, but okay, so let me look at it from my front. Brings that in too tight. Let's get it down lower. Okay. So, my disclaimer was this is my first time. So. Okay. But I am really liking the adjustability of this. It's happening quickly. Exclude that. All right, let me pause it, grab some rubber bands, and then we'll continue on. Okay, cool. Let's move you in a little bit. Whoop. There we go. Cool. This is the only branch that I don't like, but I want to keep it. I would love the divide of 3. Okay, so I don't want to bring them lower because I like that, you know, you come in here and then the main trunk is pretty much your main view and it's going to go down a little bit and then towards you. And then I like these two to be like, you know, just an added complement. I don't know that I want any action coming this way, so I don't think I like that. I guess I could mimic that one, maybe. Come a little forward with it, and then the other one is in the distance. I think that might be what I'm gonna do. Alright, so I got 3 rubber bands here. This is what I used for a money clip for a long time too. That or just a bank envelope. I always joked that I was gonna write Gucci on it or something like that, one of those high-end things with my daughter, because, you know, just because I'm not into name brands doesn't mean everybody in my life isn't. Let's see. Okay. I don't want to mess with any buds that have developed that might be like getting ready for the winter and then we'll come blasting out in spring. I want to have my options, you know. This thing kicked off a nice amount of growth this year. It was really just a stick, a cool potential trunk with like no ram at all. Okay. Well, that doesn't really work because then it pulls this branch into there. So we're going to have to go all the way around all these. Of course, this guy is indigenous to this region and a few years old, so it will be spending the winter outdoors. Hunkered down in some mulch, but outdoors nonetheless. Down a little bit. Yes. No. Don't you slide. First one sliding on me. There we go. I know, right? Use wire and it won't slide. Alright, I'm just going to tighten that initial one just a hair. Lock that in place. And then for its initial shaping, this is how it's going to chill during winter. Yeah, I guess it's still in a stranglehold, but all right. Officially my first, in quotes, wiring. And